I've got a question for you. Have you read any really exciting 990 forms lately? Well, if you're like me, they really are fast reads, aren't they? Something we need to tell you about, and there's a reason for a seminar that we're going to have in a couple of weeks, and it's about the new 990 form. You know, it always seems that just when you get to know what a form is all about, here goes the IRS and they go changing the form. Well, it's happened, and it's happened to a very important form that involves your nonprofit corporation. It's the IRS 990. For the first time in probably 20 years, the IRS has changed the form, and not just changed the form in small ways, but changed the form in some pretty dramatic ways. And it's really going to require you to beef up your knowledge of what the 990 requires and what you can do with the 990. So, can you believe it? But the Michigan Assisted Living Association and my office and Susan Davis and Plant Moran have put together what we think is just a very, exciting for lawyers and CPAs, and I think for you as well, but a really good program which will educate you and give you some helpful hints and tips on what you can do with the 990 to not only be compliant like the IRS requires, but also to be proactive. So let me tell you a little bit about it. You're going to be receiving, or probably in this email, you're receiving a great flyer that describes the content of the program, the date of the program, which is December 4th, 2008, the location of the program, which is Genoa Woods out in Brighton, and it's going to be a 3-hour program which begins at 1 o'clock on that day. You're not going to want to miss it. It's very inexpensive, brings together some knowledgeable people, and you'll exit that program with a very good understanding of what that 990 form is all about. Let me tell you a little bit more about it. We're going to be talking about compliance issues. You know you have to fill out that 990, but you're going to have to fill that 990 out in ways that you haven't imagined before. And you're going to be asked some new questions by your CPAs for some new information. And you're going to be wondering, why are they asking me all that new information? Hopefully we can give you all the answers. Because what we want to do in the seminar, one thing that we want to do, is we want to identify the information that you're going to be asked by your own CPAs so that you can be more cost effective with those professionals in completing that necessary form. The second thing we're going to want to do is explain, why is the IRS seeking all this new information? Well, it's not only the IRS, but it's our a greater wisdom people in Congress, and it's a whole background of all of this latest, over the years, scrutiny of nonprofit executives and what they're doing with compensation and what they're doing with nonprofit assets. And it's the public seeking some accountability, some greater accountability. So it's trickled down. It's trickled down to providers like yourself. You're caught up in the whole thing. And you know, with a lot of laws, it's not that they make any sense. It's just that they are what they are and we have to comply. And this is clearly one of them. So the 990. The 990 adds some new elements to it. We're going to talk about those. Simply put, there's some new additions to the form. It's going to require greater information on executive compensation. It's going to require greater information on corporate governance. It's going to create greater information requirements on your interactions with other related and non-related companies. You're going to face some big challenges with that form. And we're going to talk really in four basic areas, and we detail them in this brochure. We're going to talk about compliance issues. We're going to talk about the changes in the 990 in the last that have occurred now, the first time in 20 years. We're going to talk about a whole new approach that the 990 provides, and it gives you an opportunity to actually tell the story of your corporation in a documentary form. The 990s last forever. The 990s really are a place that you can do some PR work. PR work with a 990 form, with the IRS? It's hard to believe, but we're going to show you how you can be effective with the 990 form. Why? Well, who reads the 990 form besides you and me and your CPA? Well, these days, your contract agency, your entity that you're seeking a grant from reads the 990s. The public can read the 990s through so many vehicles on the internet, and that's happening. So you want to put your best foot forward in those documentary documents, and we're going to show you how to do that. In addition, we're going to talk about some key governance issues that the 990 is requiring you to change. So all in all, it's a program you're not going to want to miss. I mentioned to you at the beginning that not only myself will be presenting, but I'm also presenting with Susan Davis, who many of you know. Susan Davis is very experienced with nonprofit corporations and the 990 form, and she's counseled you in past MALA sessions, and I'm very pleased that she's going to be co-presenting with us on that date, December 4th, Thursday, at Genoa Woods. And also, we're delighted to have Robert Long. Robert Long is an experienced CPA with Plante Moran. He advises a number of nonprofit corporations, both big and small. He's got incredible expertise, as does Plante Moran with the 990. And we've asked him to join us that afternoon and provide from a technical aspect and from a CPA aspect what CPAs will be looking for from you so that that 990 can be completed accurately, completely, legally, and in a rule-compliant way. So there's the exciting program we have for you. I don't want you to miss it. I'm giving you a personal invitation. Please come. Please click on some button on this email that is attached with it, and that'll get you all the information. It'll get you all the sign-up information, and all you need to do is click it a few times and put some information in, and then we'll see you on Thursday, December 4th, 2008 at 1 p.m. for a 3-hour session on the new 990, what you need to know to stay rule compliant and what you need to know to move your organization into the future.